What is going on? Bar Down Breakdown, the live stream edition, and the entire gang is here tonight. Woo! We are ready to listen to some new tunes that dropped on February 14th, 2025. Our Spotify release radar was jam-packed tonight. It was super duper hard to pick. Yeah, it was too hard to pick just 6 songs, but we did it, and we are ready to just check out some new tunes. But we're super pumped that Tom is back. He joined us for our little pilot practice episode, and now he's here again. So we're super pumped to have the entire Bar Down Breakdown team on the stream tonight, and we got 6 just dope tracks. I can't wait to check them out. What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Not so much, man. Just came back from a little trip to hang out with my friends in DC, and I saw snowfall for the first time in like 6 years. And we went to some brewery like across the river from Harper's Ferry, and it was too friggin' cold. So now I'm back into warmth, and I'm back to feeling normal.
Amen. Yeah, like once you well, you're always used to the warm, but for like Tom and myself who have transplanted down to warmer places, like, yeah, you turn into a wuss when you're going up north to like visit family and stuff, and then you get back to your element and you're like, all right, yeah, this is why I moved away.
Yeah, this is like, so this is my second winter like back in New York, and I don't know how I did it for so long. I mean, like, I've lost a bunch of weight, so like I think that probably has something to do with the fact that I'm constantly cold all the time. But
yeah,
for my whole life, I was always like, oh, I don't care about the winter because, like, you know, I could go outside in hoodie when it's 15 degrees Fahrenheit and I'd be okay, but not anymore. No way.
like it's too friggin' cold right now.
No, dude, it's crazy. I walked out. My apartment has like a little balcony, and I walked out onto it just to be like, oh, I wonder what it's like outside. And I like walked back in 10 seconds later, and I was like, I want to rub my body under hot water now. Awful.
Well, that's what happens when you turn into a skinny man.
You're just consistently cold all the time.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I'm not just like skinny yet, but like, you know, I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'm worried that you're not going to fit in the Bar Down Breakdown jersey tank that I still have not mailed to you.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about that. I was like, did it get lost in the mail? But don't worry. Even if I don't fit into it, I'll still wear it proudly.
You just got to cut it and make it a belly shirt.
Yeah, no, I'm for that.
Show a little midriff.
Absolutely.
Amen. Well, boys, let's cut the chitter chatter and let's talk some of these tunes that dropped today. I guess we can kind of go by who recommended what. And Justin, I guess we could start with you, and we'll start with an Orlando band that you recommended. So you want to give us a little backstory on Hungover?
Yeah, Hungover forever, man. Hungover has been a band in the scene since I moved here in Orlando almost 13 years ago. I remember watching them play the infamous Capstan Living Room, and that was in their like first iteration when Mark was playing guitar and they had a completely different singer. And now there's like almost like a completely different iteration of the band with Mark, Gabe, and Sean, and they're just fucking killing it right now. And they dropped this song. I know Mark's been on TikTok and Instagram just like really kind of pushing this song for the last few weeks. It's gotten a lot of like kind of like big following on TikTok. So I feel bad because it's like I'm listening to the full song for the first time, but because I've seen every other fucking video that Mark has put out, I kind of know the chorus. But that's the extent of what I know from this song so far. But I'm really excited about it. I'm excited Hungover's putting out new music. Like, we've gotten a lot of good shit from Hungover over the last year, and I just love watching them play, and I love just seeing them create new stuff, because every time they put something out, it's just better than the last.
Yeah, I do want to say that I am in the same boat as Justin. Like, kudos to Hungover. They got a little viral bump from TikTok. Like, their videos the past like 2 weeks consistently showed up on my For You page, which is like how you really reach a broader audience. And it's not even that like the video was like clickbaity or anything, like anything that really caused it to go viral, but it did. And like it was just like Mark sharing a clip and seeing if anyone would like be interested or like see what would happen, and he teased it and it blew up, and he had like no choice then but to release it. And it just goes to show how cool that platform is, right? Like, that couldn't have happened on Facebook or Instagram because they would make you pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's just like real grassroots, and people are jacked up. And already the video had Sal goes on MySpace. It would have blown up on MySpace, but not on
My
MySpace.
bulletin board.
Yeah, but it blew up, and it already has, like, it's been out for not even a full day, and has almost 2,000 plays on YouTube, and that's just YouTube. And then, like, if you consider like Spotify and all the other major streaming platforms, that the song is doing, I'm sure, just killer for them. And I am also in the same boat where I'm super pumped for them because they're great dudes. Like, they played Bar Down Breakfest year 3 down in Orlando. Just super talented band, and they deserve it. So I'm excited to check out more than just the hook and the chorus, to see the full version of the little TikTok videos that we've been seeing.
It's just going to be the chorus. That's just the entire song.
Well, it's a damn catchy chorus, so I would actually be cool with that.
Listen to that on repeat.
Yep. All right, so let's do it. And Tom's going in blind, right? Because I don't even know if you are on TikTok, so you probably have no idea what we're talking about.
No, completely blind. I mean, love Hungover, great band, but yeah, totally blind. Man, let's do it.
Just such a killer voice.
Ages like fine wine.
I love that groove, man.
Yeah, Gabe kills it, man.
Such a simple lyric, just like I sure could use a friend, but I feel like that just hits home to so many people.
Little grit in there.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever heard his voice do that.
Got a little Patty Stump in there.
Ooh, a guitar solo. Let's go.
Put a little stank on that, huh?
Oh yeah. That little groove at the end.
Dude, I just want to listen to that again. Like, there was so much to it. Like, that song went into so many different directions. Like,
right, yeah, it did. I feel like I'm such a sucker for that kind of groove. Like, not to get into like too much musician speak, but that whole like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and like that kind of like offbeat groove where it's like almost triplet centric, but it's in 4. Yeah, that drummer riffs, man. He's got all these really really cool fills, in between his grooves and stuff, and the bridge especially, man. He's cooking. No, I love that. That's great. I kind of wonder like what the rest of the music surrounding it is gonna be like. I get like home team vibes out of it. Like that kind of like kind of straddling the line between like the newer style of pop punk, which is kind of maybe a little bit more pop centric than it used to be back in the days of like the Starting Line and the Movie Life and stuff. But for what pop punk is kind of turning into with bands like the Home Team and Grayscale and Bearings and all that kind of stuff, they fit right in. So I feel like onwards and upwards for them for sure.
When I was in the barber chair last, Mark was saying that Mark's my barber, by the way. So if you're in Orlando, go get your haircut by Mark. He was saying like he's like the newer Hungover stuff is like a very like Bill Murray-esque feel, like guitar wise, and you kind of feel that groove a little bit, but you can definitely hear like all of his influences. Like he just went to Vegas like a couple months ago to catch the Killers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like you can also hear like a lot of like the band Camino a little bit in there, another like huge influence for him. So it's really cool just like hearing kind of like everything coalesce, and like his vocals are just like I said earlier, man, it just ages like fine wine. It just gets better and better like each time he sings. And check out his other band too, Cat Company, if you're into like Swancore. If you don't know what Swancore is, if you ever listen to a Dance Gavin Dance song, that's kind of like Swancore. But yeah, check out Cat Company. They fucking rip too. But I'm all for new Hungover, man.
Yeah, his voice was just doing things that we're not used to, right? Like there was falsettos, there was grit. The chorus is just so catchy. And I had a comment like such a simple lyric, but still so relatable. Like everyone can relate to that, and I think that's why it really has blown up. Like it is a perfect chorus for that song, but that song is so much more than just that chorus. Like I said, it goes in so many different directions.
Yeah, I'd really love to get in their ear and kind of figure out like the genesis of the song in terms of how it was written. Like if they wrote the chorus first and wrote the rest of the parts around it, or just because it is really dynamic, and it seems like a song that was like written completely to me. Like, it doesn't seem like it was part and parcel, but I guess like you really never know how different bands go about that. But it seems like the song is so like it's not linear at all. Like, it has so many peaks and troughs that it seems like everything was really deliberate. But I'd be really interested to kind of know how the song shaped, you know, and how many runs it went through before it came out in this you know, iteration. It would be cool to know that. So if you get a chance, ask.
Yeah, I'll pick his brain next time he's got a razor next to my neck.
Yeah, and Tom Brown's right. Hi, Tom Brown, by the way. Yeah, when lower than Atlantis, man. I mean, I could talk about them for days, but you know, the difference between you know, a record like Far Q and a record like Safe and Sound is definitely, you can hear like the transition of pop punk music, and I definitely agree with that. It's really again, it's super dynamic, and that's what makes a great song is you know, something that not only a catchy chorus, but something that keeps you engaged throughout the whole thing. Because we all know songs that have like shitty verses but great choruses, and you're like, man, I wish this song was all chorus. But with this song, it's like I could pick any 30 seconds of it and be like, yeah, this rips. So
yeah,
good on you, Hungover.
Well, that's the beautiful thing, right? Like, now that they got people on TikTok so hooked on that chorus, they could just start snipping another 30 seconds, and it feels like a whole new song, because it really does just keep you engaged and entertained from start to finish. And
For sure.
I think they knocked it out of the park with that. And truthfully, I thought that this was kind of a standalone single that they were just sitting on, and they were like, let's just throw it out there. But sounds like there is more than just this, and that makes me excited. But yeah, Justin, you want to throw it up to Chicago?
Yeah, we're going up to Chicago. They're known for deep dish pizza, Italian hot beef,
Lou Malnati's,
and good fucking pop punk, man.
I'm just laughing. I have no idea what the hell that just was, but
it's deep dish, bro. Come on,
deep dish pizza, man. You got Lou Malnati's, you got Giordano's, you got Pequod's, you got all the best up there. People will come at me and be like, "No, man, you got to go to this place on the south side. It's like connected to a gas station, but you got to knock 6 times and then they'll let you in." No,
bro, it's like all Philadelphians that everybody who actually lives in Philly is like, no, you don't go to Tony Luke's. No, you go to the place that smells like bleach. They do the best one. Whiz, only Whiz.
You got to go. It's above a laundromat, and they make their own cheese whiz by scratch by taking Velveeta and Gouda, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
So, this one's coming from Fluorescents. So if you're on TikTok, another huge TikTok band right now, they are blowing up. This is the new one from them. We played with them in Out of Time up in Maryland for Never Early Fest. Super cool guys. We were super stoked to meet them. And like I said, if you don't know Chicago pop punk, where have you been for the last 20 years? They continually put out just, I don't know if it's something in the water, if it's something in the pizza, or something in the Italian beef. It's probably just Portillo's. People go into Portillo's all the time, and they're just making Portillo's pop punk. Yeah. But literally, like, you have Fluorescents, you have Action Adventure, you have
When the Sun Sets,
you have the OGs and Fall Out Boy, you have Rise Against, you have so many good, like, just pop punk and punk bands coming out of this city, and Fluorescents is one of them. I'm really stoked to hear this one. This one's Crazy for You. This one was on my release radar today, and I could not listen to it because of this podcast. So I'm excited to listen to it, and I hope you guys dig it.
Rolling.
Oh, Macarena,
man. And I feel like they're in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Wait, that guy's not normally the singer, right?
No, he's the side singer for the other singer.
Oh, okay, gang vocals for no reason. Like it.
Like the RKO out of nowhere, this gang vocals out of nowhere.
Could be.
It could be.
Wait, it's so confusing. I keep thinking they're a three-piece, but they're not.
No. And they're all switching instruments on you too, so it's even more confusing.
Ooh, little pinch harmonic in there, huh? Okay.
Little wee.
Yep. Obligatory pop punk clapping part.
Love that.
All right.
Dude, I'm still so confused because all the TikTok videos that I've ever seen of this band, that's not the singer. It just seemed like I watched a completely different band than what I'm used to.
They just said on Instagram, welcome to a new era of Fluorescents, so
Oh, okay.
we're all for it. So if they have two amazing vocalists in the band now, like
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it just feels like a totally different band. And if they mix in both vocalists, like, holy cow. Like, they're onto something, man.
yeah, that band, they're just consistently putting out bangers. I think they're heading over to the West Coast this month. So if you are in I think it's Los Angeles, Phoenix, and another band. Sounds happy but is sad. I don't know.
Welcome to pop punk, brother. That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's sad music in a major key. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, man, like they're heading out to the West Coast, go catch them. They're playing a couple. I think they're only playing 3 dates. I think they're playing maybe Los Angeles, San Diego, and Phoenix. I could be wrong. But if they're coming to a city near you, go catch them. If you're in Chicago and you see them playing, go catch them. They're touring all over the place right now, and if you don't go watch this band, you're missing out. And hopefully they open for Fall Out Boy one day because that'd be fucking dope.
That would be dope. Well, I'm gonna take the spotlight. I'm gonna share my picks, and Tom gets all mad because he thinks I'm gonna run out of North Carolina bands, and Tom just doesn't know just how killer the North Carolina scene is. And I got two new ones. You don't even know what's coming, Tom. This is all. I'm just gonna keep rubbing it in your face because it's, in my opinion, the most underrated music scene in the country right now. Like, yeah, you could say Chicago's killing it. You could say Orlando's killing it. You could say, California's killing it. Like, that's not really surprising. But if you're like, oh, North Carolina's like crushing the emo adjacent world, no one would even know what the hell you're talking about.
No, man, there's Bojangles and Cookout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is MKNLY, which, if you are familiar with the band Gold Steps, they did a song together about a year ago, and that really got me on them on my radar. And ever since then, I've been kind of following. They've been playing shows in like the Winston-Salem area. That's kind of where they're from, like kind of the Fayetteville, Winston-Salem area. So kind of seem like older gents kind of our age, so they're still kind of keeping consistent and doing it because they love it. And this is their new song "Meltdown."
They're one of those bands that couldn't afford vowels on Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, there are no vowels. All right, let me get it all loaded and ready to go. No video for this one.
Oh.
It's hard to talk sometimes. Then again, I tend to overthink things. But why you making it so complicated? With the way you like to pull on my strings. But we keep pushing and pulling to figure this out. I'm in the shadows of my mind. I'm so full of doubt. I can't get this out of my head. How I wish we never met. And I'm just so over this. Feels like I'm losing grip. Now I keep talking in circles to myself.
Dance part. There's some synth in there. You got neon pop punk.
This could be a Point North song.
Yes.
Keep fighting the feeling I'm having withdrawal. And I keep searching the right end, but we've said it all. I can't get this out of my head. How I wish we never met. And I'm just so over this. Feels like I'm losing grip. Now I keep talking in circles to myself. I'm having a meltdown. And I keep reaching for love to be let down. I hope you find the pieces of me that are left behind.
Is this a feature or same guy?
I don't know.
Changing every part of me just to watch this die. Now I keep talking in circles to myself. I'm having a meltdown. And I keep reaching for love to be let down. Lost and alone now. Hanging on to memories that got the best of me. Now I keep talking in circles to myself. I'm having a meltdown.
Nice. Their singer kind of reminds me of a North Carolina version of Vinny Caruana, like how he looks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like he looks like he could be from Long Island. But no, solid band. It kind of like in the same vein of like kind of like these newer like pop punk bands that have this like real like dancey electric feel, like electronic feel.
Right on.
I would
yep.
say like post neon punk. I'll coin that genre real quick where it has a lot of those drivey elements, those dancey elements, but kind of missing out on that synth, man. You need that.
Yeah.
You need that synth.
You got, and you know, this song has a lot of like start stop elements to it, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think is a lot easier to do in pop punk now that you can kind of like you know, where you know a lot more bands are playing the clicks and in-ears and stuff, where you can, you know, like replicate that in a smooth way on stage, which is really cool because like a lot of the start stop parts that they have, you can hear, you know, vocal layering and like, you know, all that kind of you know, fancy studio stuff that you know, comes out on stage when you're, you know, playing to a track and stuff like that. So no, really cool song. Vocalist seems to be using like a lot of, it doesn't seem like it's auto tune, but it seems like it's just like a little bit more like vocal, like I don't know how to put it, but like seems like there's like a little bit more going on there vocally in terms of the more dancey electronic side of it. I think is probably the easiest way to say it, but it's really good song. I mean, it's kind of short and sweet and to the point and doesn't kind of take itself too seriously, but good track. I'd love to hear more from them.
Yeah, I could, like, they probably had that chorus like 6 times like throughout the song. And
yeah,
it's definitely catchy, right? Like it by the end of it I was like, yeah, kind of singing along. And I am curious if there is a feature on that, or if that's just someone else in the band, or what happened towards the end of the song.
I mean, it definitely sounded different, like a different person, but I wasn't too sure with that. But it was pretty cool. I mean, when you write a good chorus, like you kind of you're predisposed to jamming it as many times as you can. If that's kind of your hook there, but everything that was surrounding it was pretty good. The production on it was really, really good too.
Yeah, it really gave me Point North. That was like the vibes I got instantly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it out. And then I was like, maybe it sounds a little like Magnolia Park, or like a lot of what you guys mentioned, the real kind of new wave pop punk sound.
Right.
That fits right in with it. And like if you told me that was a Magnolia Park song, I would believe it.
Right.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it. It's interesting seeing like how this like real kind of like split within a genre is going, because you have these bands that are just like Tom said, like playing to a click. They probably have like more of metalcore, post-hardcore backgrounds. And you can hear that influence with like the drums and the starts and the stops, and like it's really clean, and like the instrumentals are just really like crisp. And then on top of it, you just have like this like great vocal melody and these awesome choruses coming behind it. And it's just like it's almost like a happy medium between like the two genres, and that driving crunchy guitar tone in the background is just so good.
Yeah, I guess that's the perfect way to describe like the new wave pop punk. Is it's a crossover between like easy core and pop punk, and they have somehow like made it work.
Well, you know what I think it is too. I think the reality is when you look generationally, right? So, the bands that came, like, I'm not good at like knowing what waves they are or any of that, so I'm not going to try. But when you look at, let's say, the gap between the starting line and the Wonder Years, right? Let's call that 8 years. 10, 8 years, 10 years, whatever. So you could hear in the upsides where the starting line influenced the Wonder Years, right? So in that, right, what you kind of get is, okay, it's paying homage to the bands that they were listening to when they were young and coming up. So in 2025, I think a lot, even though I think you had said this particular band, they're a little bit older, but I think a lot of music that was around in 2017, 2018, a lot of the pop music at least was more rock focused.
Yes.
And I think because of that, you've got a lot of pop punk bands that are using elements of that kind of pop music to round out what pop punk is now. And I mentioned it before, but there's no better bands to describe that than bands like Seaway and Grayscale and Bearings. They're all using that. I don't want to call it a formula, but they're all using these little bits and pieces from pop music to really kind of turn pop punk into true pop punk. Whereas like, when you talk about pop punk in the 80s and 90s, and you talk about the Descendants and Green Day and stuff, I mean, that was, its own method of putting pop into music, because all it really did was make it discernible. When you went from a band like the Ramones, who when they played live, you could barely understand them, to a band like Green Day, who when they put out Dookie, it was polished and beautiful. that was what was pop about the punk. Nowadays, what's pop about the punk is the electronic elements, the dancey elements, the vocal mechanisms, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, you know, for a band that's trying to break into this space, I think it's great. I think it's really good.
Now, Tom just proved that he has not listened to the new Grayscale album, because it is nothing like Nella Vita. It is like a Bruce Springsteen album.
Oh shit! I haven't listened to the new Grayscale.
Yeah,
but I do know that Nella Vita is sick as hell. But that's on my list to listen to. But
you need to spin it. Like, listen,
I'll take a Springsteen record any day.
It's straight rock, man. It's like if Springsteen and the Killers had this weird love child, and I mean the Killers have like also just huge Springsteen elements in their music, but like,
sure,
what they did with this album is just it's so good, and lyrically it hits, like musically it hits, like it's all like those like big like chromatic chord kind of like crescendos, and it's fucking rock and roll, man. It's fucking cool to hear.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they're a pop punk band anymore with this album.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, my next track, I'm keeping it in North Carolina, specifically Charlotte, and this is a band leaving for Arizona, which just confuses everyone, right? Because you would think that they would be not from Charlotte with a band name like that, but
yeah, they just got into ASU, man.
Yeah.
And this one is not even up on YouTube, so I had to do a little screen record to get it, but we're gonna add it to the stream. Right. So yeah, this is, first of all, best song title of the night. I'm gonna Baja Blast My Face Off. No, yeah. Baja Blast My Brains Out. Sorry, that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you should Baja Blast your brains out every day.
So just get a Crunch Wrap Supreme and a 2 liter of Baja Blast, and just drop a Mentos in there and see if it works the same.
Whew.
Yeah, so they take the prize for best song title tonight.
Well, we're tuning it down a little bit. We got a little acoustic jam.
From my understanding, this isn't normally what they sound like, but
we've heard that one before.
Japanese breakfast.
Drink the water
No.
you found on the
ground. I like these harmonies.
I only find solace in the sound.
I know Tom's gonna get this reference. Reminds me of My Mouth is a Speaker.
Like I'm drowning 6 feet down.
You get a little of that for sure.
You got little Tiger's Jaw influence going on.
I get a lot of that.
Do you really think you could save me now?
Doing a split with Evan Weiss.
I bet you know by now.
Oh, that's so Tiger's Jaw, like with those tertiary harmonies. Woo.
I bet you know by now. Held on
little box.
For too long.
That's yeah.
Living in my head, even though you're gone.
Is that a little cajon going on?
Yeah, it's like the little. I forget what it's called. The little box, you know?
Yeah.
So far down.
Okay.
So do you really think you could save me now? I should have known by now.
a much sadder song than I thought it was going to be with Baja Blast My Brains Out.
All right. Sorry, I think my screen record got cut short. But
You got too antsy. I saw your bank statement pop up and then push notifications halfway through.
Yeah, I would bet, like, I would bet dollars to donuts that isn't the version of that song that I'm betting that there's going to be an electric version of that song. And the reason I get that feeling is just because of that outro. Just because I feel like when you're writing like an acoustic song, like you don't always kind of break into halftime, I think that's a pretty interesting choice, but yeah, I get Tiger's Jaw right away out of that for sure. Old Tiger's Jaw, like from the the Pizza record,
Pizza album,
yeah. When they were kind of just ripping with an acoustic guitar and some vocals and stuff, but really good song and a really cool change of pace. I guess I'd have to ask you because I've never heard them. What do they normally like? What do they normally sound like?
more like a balance and composure, if I had to like pinpoint them.
Well, Balance and Composure did a split with Tiger's Jaw, so it kind of makes sense.
That kind of makes sense.
And like I said, a little My Mouth is a Speaker, which I absolutely love that band.
Yeah,
I
for
wish
sure.
they would.
I get that. I mean, as far as acoustic songs go, I mean, it's really cool. It sounds like they down-tuned. It sounded like at least like it was in drop D if it wasn't in some sort of like open tuning. But I mean, it sounds clean. I love the harmonies and stuff. Like I said, that's very, it reminds me a lot of Tiger's Jaw. So, it kind of clicks with me, gives me that nostalgic feeling. Good song. I'm kind of, I'd be interested to hear if there is an electric version of it and how it would sound in relation to this, unless it really is just like an acoustic track. But, the lyrics were cool. The vibe was cool. I liked it for sure.
It sounds like a band that would play with Moving Boxes. Like that would be a good tour.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a good North Carolina tour. Like, hey, like we're just gonna like fucking break out and kick your ass with like cool harmonies.
Well, yeah, Moving Boxes does that so well. But yeah, I guess those are my North Carolina picks for the night, and I'm gonna keep coming. So North Carolina, prove Tom wrong. Please just release a new song every week so I could keep shoving them down his freaking throat. But
And fantastic.
Tom's going mainstream with his first pick. So I actually had no idea that they signed to Pure Noise Records. We kind of talked about this in the group chat.
Yeah.
It obviously is a perfect home for them, but kind of flew under my radar. I had no idea that was happening. Maybe they didn't announce it until they announced this album. Maybe that was like when they let everyone know. Maybe that's why we didn't pick up on it.
Also, we had 2 to 3 days of Tom complaining in the group chat about how he wasn't able to listen to this song, and he was really having a hard time with it.
I really was. I mean, so Arm's Length has kind of become truly one of my favorite bands. I listened to Never Before Seen, Never Again Found like ad nauseum. I mean, I when I tell you I've probably ripped through that album a good 60 or 70 times, like it's not a joke. It really resonated with me in a time where I kind of needed it, and I loved the singles that they put out, after they put out that record. And, when they announced that they were putting out a new record, which is coming to us in May, I think, I knew a single was coming. And as soon as they dropped it, I was like, yeah, this is the one I want to do, only because Arm's Length is just such a dynamic band. Never Before Seen, Never Again Found has, as you go through the track list, it's got, the whole thing is poignant, but I mean, it's got these really, really powerful, really loud songs, and it's got these really subdued, laid back songs, and it's just a good mix. So I'm really interested to kind of hear in what direction they're going to go with this new record. And from what I've heard, a lot of people are really into it. Some people are saying, "Oh, I hope it grows on me," but people say that all the time. But
people always call it the sophomore slump, but they just need to get the fuck over themselves sometimes.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, but for what it's worth, I'm really excited to listen to it. This song is called "Funny Face," and like I said, Pure Noise is putting it out sometime in May. And play me some music. Can
I just first start by telling you how many plays this already has on YouTube?
How many plays?
133,000.
Arm's Length is killing it. They actually just announced a tour with Prince Daddy and the Hyena, who are another great band, and Riley ! Who are another great band. And that's coming to Long Island, and I'm going to go see that tour. I'm definitely going to go. But
is it at AMH? Where is it?
It is at AMH.
Have you been?
I've not been to the new AMH. That might be my first time. We'll see.
And I was going to say, if you're an Arm's Length fan and you haven't listened to our episode with Arm's Length, you're missing out. So after you're done with this, go listen to that episode, because that was right before they went to Europe with Hot Mulligan, I think.
Yeah.
And they've only been going up from there.
They have, surely. Yeah, and like right now they're on tour at Silverstein, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Silverstein is Thursday, I think. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's huge. They're probably playing to some of their biggest crowds. I don't know. Now that I think about it, you're playing with Hot Mulligan right now. They're probably pretty close. But either way, Silverstein being a Toronto band and Arm's Length being outside of Toronto, it's kind of nice to see when a band that's so established like Silverstein kind of recognizes the young buck.
Shane's got his finger on the pulse. I mean, obviously,
he does.
So he probably was like, yeah, we're going to take them with us because, we're going to help them blow up, but also they're going to bring some younger kids to our shows.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. But yeah, funny face. Make a funny face. This is perfect.
Just waiting for it. Chapter 1 of 3.
Yeah, what is that now?
I'll take concept albums. I'm all concept albums, man.
Is this like a Benjamin Button situation, maybe?
It might be.
Man, I thought this was going to go real dark for a second.
We got a photo album?
Cool. Oh, he's reliving his life. Looking back.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, two-stepping.
Oh yeah, that's super Arm's Length, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Get that Aerodyne bass. chorus is so good.
Make that funny face, yeah, that one you always make. I don't know anyone looks anything like you. Remember you'd pass out when you'd insist on giving blood. When it runs in the family, you'd give it all if you could.
Spin kicks.
Just wanted to do some good.
Oh,
Just lucky to be living a miracle, but not have it said. More like a freak accident. You've started feeling guilty when I have to roll you onto your side. And I'd do this every night if I could.
Okay, slow it down.
A miracle, but not have it said. More like a freak accident. You said.
Even slower.
I'm convinced myself.
Can we go slower?
Anytime when I'm shaving years off my life and you let me.
Oh, I would have ran with that part for another 45 seconds. Whew.
So if there's two things I know about Ontario, is that there's a three-way stop in Bowmanville,
Yeah.
and fuck Oshawa, for is desolate as a town and a military town as what it is. They put out this amazing band in the Toronto area needs to fucking carry them through, because that song was so good. And while I want it to go even longer with that breakdown,
Yeah.
that was like such a great ending, and the music video it just hit all the feels.
Yeah, that was killer, man. I mean,
that's why I love doing this, right? Because,
Yeah.
like, yes, the song was fantastic, but this was one of the times where the music video takes the song to another level. Like,
Yeah.
before the song even started, right? Like, the video already put me in a place,
right.
Like, already made it like, all right, this guy's like looking back on his, pictures of his past, and he lost someone, right? Like, you could already get in that place, and the song just delivered. And I'm super excited to see, like, it said that it was like what, part one of what, three?
Part one of three, yeah. So whether it's something in the album or whether it's something for music videos, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're kind of running like a 3-part concept with music videos, which would be super cool. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of everything that I would have expected out of an Arm's Length song. It's got his kind of signature, kind of lower register vocals in the verse. And then, he pops it up into his higher register in the chorus. Like, that's kind of some of the trope I expect out of them, which kind of makes their music a little bit more dynamic. But I just loved that initial slowdown and then the next slowdown. And I was trying to catch some of the lyrics, and it looks like in the chorus he's talking about turning someone onto their side. So he's obviously talking about someone who, gets drunk and, can't take care of themselves, and, or something like that. So, and that seemed to be kind of a prevailing theme through the last record too, where, you kind of get the sense of him being a caretaker in some regard. And maybe that's kind of something to say about like who he is as a person, knowing that that's a theme that came back in this record, and that was a theme that he wrote about a couple of years ago. Kind of leads me to believe that, he might be the kind of person who just feels predisposed to,
Help
kind of
this thing.
kind of just be
Being a
there.
caregiver.
So, but totally great song. Like you kind of, you bounce towards that groove in the beginning, and then it kind of breaks into that 2-step groove. So it's like you get your head bob, and then I gotta change my head bob, So, But yeah, hell yeah, man. I really can't believe that I didn't listen to that. I tried really hard not to listen to that. And also this next song that we're going to do too, I tried really hard not to listen to it, but Arm's Length, man, can't wait for that record to come out.
It's be a good one.
I think that so far is my highlight of the night. That was well done. The video hit me in the feels.
Yeah, dude.
The dude is rocking pleated pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
The tucked in pleated pants with the belt.
Very tucked in, yeah.
I need Mikey to do like a John Madden, like just circle with like the yellow marker. Like, here's my highlight of the night. Pants, tucked in white shirt.
You see, he's got the shirt over here, and when he runs, he goes faster.
What you might not have noticed was the straight edge watch at the beginning of the music video. It really kind of ties into the lyrics.
Yeah.
It does.
I need that from Mikey. I need to do highlight reels just where he's just circling stuff on the screen and he just does a voiceover.
I love that.
But yeah, Tom, I guess lead us to the last track of the night.
Oh man, how do I intro the Junior Varsity? How do I do this? Okay, so let's roll the clocks back 20 something years, right? So my first introduction to the Junior Varsity was through their first record called The Great Compromise, which came out I think in like 2002 or 2003. I think I found out about them through mp3.com, so that shows my age. Most of you don't even know what mp3.com was. It was like the predecessor to Pure Volume, and a lot of you don't even know what Pure Volume was. So that just shows my age. But The Great Compromise was a great record. One of the first records that really prominently featured like a synth player, and just a great collection of tunes. Then they put out Wide Eyed 2 years later, which kind of put them on the map. I think that's when they signed to Victory and started getting some cool tours. And then they put out my favorite record, Cinematographic, which came out, I think, in 2007. It's got this track on it called The Sky, which is one of my favorite songs. It's got this track called St. Louis, which bounces around like a maniac. Such incredible musicians. And if you know anything about the Junior Varsity, and I don't want to misspeak, but you know that kind of tragedy beset the band. There was a really infamous issue that happened in Mississippi where one of the members' girlfriends was murdered. And it was a really, really terrible moment for the band, and just like a terrible moment for pop punk in general. But, the band carried on through it, and now they're back. And I love that they're back because they not only were one of my favorite bands, but they were maybe not the most popular band. And I think that they deserved a lot more than they got, back in the day. And, and that's not any indictment on them. They were around when pop punk was blossoming, and, bands like Fall Out Boy and Paramore were just taking over the world. And unfortunately, in order to stand out when there are 100 other bands doing what you're doing, you've got to kind of fire on all cylinders. And, there's notoriously a lot of bands that got onto Victory and thought that Victory was going to be the best thing for them, and Victory ended up kind of shit in the bed for them. And I think the Junior Varsity was one of those bands, but no ill will towards Victory. And I'm sure those guys were happy for the time that they were on it, and whatever they got out of it, a couple of cool tours and all that. But they're back. They've got a couple of singles out, but the one we're going to check out is Guilt. And I'm just excited to see what 20 years has done to the band in terms of their songwriting and in terms of what they sound like. Their vocalist, to me, always had a very, what's the word I want to use? Specific voice. It's very recognizable for me, maybe because I listen to them a lot, but very melodic, very croony. So I'm kind of hoping we get some of that in this track. But
nice.
That's all I can say, man. The Junior Varsity are one of my favorite bands, and I'm really stoked that I get to listen to them in 2025. And from the looks of it, it looks like they're going to be getting out there and doing it again. So, you know, great stuff all around.
Fun fact, I think that the music video for The Sky that you had mentioned was done by the same company that did Robot Chicken.
Yeah, that's I had read that. The Sky is super cool. It's like a kind of like a claymation video, and the whole video is just like them as claymation people just falling constantly, and it's really cool. God, I want to listen to The Sky now, but we're not gonna listen to The Sky. We're gonna listen to Guilt. But if you do yourself a favor and go, if you like what you hear today, just check out their back catalog. You won't be disappointed, I promise you.
And Justin, were you familiar with the Junior Varsity?
I've heard of them in the past just because I was like so hooked on Victory Records back in the day, so they were probably on one of my samplers that I had gotten from them. But yeah, I remember seeing the music video for The Sky, and I was like, I think that's like a Robot Chicken. But also shout out to the Chicago area for 2 bands tonight from the Chicago Central Illinois area. So
yeah, they're technically from Peoria, I think. Is that where they like say that they're from?
Yeah, I think so. They said like Central Illinois, so that's usually Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to comment. I went to their YouTube page to pull up, get the video ready, and it looks like they uploaded their Dead and Dreaming cover for Raining in Baltimore.
Such a good cover. I think it's one of the best covers on that record.
But what it made me realize is that that comp isn't anywhere on the internet.
Not.
And there's so many fantastic covers, and I'm not even I'm not really a Counting Crows fan. So a lot of those songs I kind of fell in love with by who did the cover and that version of the song. I don't think I've ever heard Raining in Baltimore.
It's a great
I
song.
don't think I have. I've only heard the Junior Varsity version, and it really kind of bums me out because I'm sure I could probably find the CD on eBay or something for a ridiculous amount of money. But I don't even have a CD player in my car to play it. I need this this comp on Spotify. So the Junior Varsity, if you're tuning in at any point, please work your magic. Try to get that comp up because Bayside's on it. The Rocket Summer, As Tall as Lions. The list goes on and on of how many killer bands are on it.
And to be honest with you, Between the Buried and Me's cover of Colorblind is way better than the original version of Colorblind.
It sounds like we just need Wax Bodega or someone just to take these fucking masters from whatever Victory vault they're in and just
I don't even think it was Victory. I have no idea.
It had to be Victory.
No, it wasn't. No,
Between the Buried and Me, they're all Victory bands.
It's not.
They are, but I don't know who put it out. We'd have to.
It was definitely not. I would bet $1 million that it was not Victory.
But Mikey's enthusiasm for this album was my enthusiasm to grab the Glamour Kills comp with all the bands that covered each other's. Not on Spotify. That shit's barely on YouTube anymore.
No, but truthfully, this Junior Varsity cover is one of the only that are up on YouTube. You can't find the other ones. They're not up there anywhere. And Tom and I have a real personal connection to that comp as well that just makes it hit home even more. We had a friend who asked to borrow that CD from me when we were in high school, and then tragically lost his life a day or two later.
Yeah.
And that was the CD that was in his car, and it just always will hold a special place in my heart, and it bums me out that I can't every once in a while just throw it on and think back to that. And I'm hoping one day it gets up there.
We'll find a copy. We will.
Yeah. But yeah, to kind of bring it to happier times, you know, we got new music from the Junior Varsity, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Just when I thought I was what I was,
Oh, that voice.
find out I'm nothing. Constant
That bass line.
devil's advocacy is pushing all my buttons. I'm tired, so I'm giving in. But I hate you, so I guess I will. Yeah, you look so normal now. I'll be lying face down.
What a killer lyric video. Holy cow.
Myself, yeah, goes away. I'll be lying face down. Let me lying face down. Just when I thought I was hungry enough, I take a bite of the policy, and I can't connect. And I think you would expect that I'm parting ways with.
This is a band that I would 100% see on like Yo Gabba Gabba if they were still going on.
I can only hear it for myself. Yeah, goes away. I'll be lying face down. Let me lying face down. Life can really knock you down like a smile from your face. Brother, don't forget to take up some space. No, this is not just a yeah, goes away.
That's a seamless transition from 4 to 3, baby.
Ooh.
That lo-fi, that's like
It's doing something. Like, I'm so happy I have headphones on. I feel like that just did something.
Yeah, okay. All
that
right.
transported me back to the mid 2000s.
Oh man, the instant I heard his voice, I was like, okay, he sounds the same. I'm cool with this. But yeah, man, that I love a song in that bouncy 3 where you can kind of just like dip your head to it. You know, like you get that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. You get that like that waltzy feeling to it where you can almost like dance to it, right? But yeah, that video is wild. That was really, really cool. Love the content of the song. I mean, like that. This is what I love about the Junior Varsity, like the complexity in the music they write, the way that they layer the synth into what they do, how the guitar players kind of interplay with one another. I mean, like that's all the stuff that I loved about the Junior Varsity. The only thing that would have made it better if there was a saxophone part, because I think the keyboard player is also a sax player, and I know he one of my favorite songs on Cinematographic has like a sax feature, and it's so good. But yeah, this is everything I kind of hoped it would be. And you know, as soon as we get off this call, I'm gonna go listen to the other single, obviously. But hell of a song, man. If you know, like I said, and if you are listening to this and you dug that, do yourself a favor and just go. Even if you don't want to go listen to my favorite record, Wide Eyed has Mad for Medusa on it, which is one of their best songs. Just go listen to their back catalog. Just, you know, make them some pennies. But it's good shit, pal.
Now, I can't pinpoint who they like kind of came out of retirement and played a show with recently. That like
I feel like Bayside almost, because they toured with Bayside.
they weren't on when we were young, were they?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. But there was definitely some show that caught my eye, and I was like, oh, like they're back. And then maybe it was Spitalfield. Maybe, yeah, it was that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. At West Spitalfield. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Eugene Levy opened that show.
Like the actual Eugene Levy, or there's a band called Eugene Levy?
There's no, it's Eugene Levy's eyebrows. They come off every
What
so
the
often. They
fuck?
just play Midwest emo. No,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's a band in like the Illinois area called Eugene Levy, and they fuck, dude. You gotta listen.
That's
to them.
awesome.
You would love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think, I mean, I hope that, you know, they get to tour around, and it'd be awesome if they come to New York. I would definitely go see them. I mean, but I've been lucky enough. I think I got to see them twice. I don't like. There was one tour that they were on where I saw them, I think, in the city, and then I think I might have seen them on Long Island once, maybe even at the downtown. They might have come around, but what a song, dude! Damn.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing Fest. They're playing a couple shows, like
Oh shit!
all in the. They had a huge reunion show in 2022. It looked like.
Okay.
But I actually just came, like, they just posted about that cover, the Counting Crows cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they posted about it on January 28th, and they're like, anyone remember this? And, like, a bunch of people in the comments are like, can this please be on streaming services anywhere?
It said it's going to be posted on streaming services soon.
Did it? Where?
On the post, it says this will be posted to other streaming platforms as well.
Oh, there.
So it looks like they're trying to get it released.
Right. I mean, at least their cover is up, right? Rating in Baltimore is up.
On YouTube, not on, like,
YouTube.
Spotify.
Oh, okay, so maybe they are working on getting it onto some streaming services. It's a great comp. It's a great comp, but you know, I think you know, again, when it comes to, you know, synth players and bands, it's usually kind of like, you know, you either get it as a prominent part of the band, or it just kind of like fades into the background and you don't really get it. And I think like that's kind of like why the Wonder Years and 4 Years Strong like decided to axe their keyboard players, because like, you know, what did it really do? But with bands like Junior Varsity, Motion City, you know, bands that really use it prominently, you know, it's another kind of like whole timbre that you can kind of get into your songs, which is super cool. But I really like that, man. I love the transition into the bridge that was in 4 back into the chorus that was in 3. I love when bands, you know, mix modulate. Love that stuff. So,
When's, like, the last time a current band has had a synth player? Like a new wave pop punk band or new wave emo band. Like, I feel like they don't exist anymore. But when we were going to shows in the early 2000s, it was common. There was a lot of bands that had synth players.
Yeah,
I think
even in the post-hardcore scene.
I think a lot of bands use synths, but I don't think they have synth players. I think kind of the way it works now is, you know, because everybody, again, you know, it's all, you know, in-ears and playing the tracks and stuff. You can kind of play your synth in the studio and then just reproduce it on stage. So you don't necessarily need.
Yes, you do. It's
Man,
not
we're
the same.
We're leaving bass players and synth players at home on tour, man.
Yeah, but think about like why you fell in love with Motion City soundtrack. Like,
Oh, for sure.
it was
Yeah.
their synth player losing his mind on stage, like doing handstands on his keyboard, and like
I would say the same thing with Josh from 4 Years Strong. Like, you know, he was absolutely losing his shit on stage. Like, he would do all the screaming parts, and you know, he would really get people hyped up. And even the dude from Devil Wears Prada back in the day.
Oh my God. Chris Bainey, I think. Was his
Yeah.
name. Dude, he used to do handstands on his keyboard.
On his keyboard stands.
Yeah, man, that's insanity. But the, you know, homeboy from the Junior Varsity used to rip too, man. He was one of those guys that would
like
had
look at
that kind of-
Emery. Emery's another one. Like
Breeze,
they're
another one. Under Oath.
Under Oath, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, like I
scary
agree.
kids scaring kids. Like
Yep, I
there were
agree.
so many.
It's not the same. And then you've got the bands that are like piano centric, like Reliant K and the Rocket Summer. You know that
Yeah.
like
Envy on the
Pumping
Coast.
Corporate. obviously, you know, like motherfucker would bring out a fucking actual piano.
Someone asked us if y'all remember the Almost.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, of course.
man.
I sing
Aaron.
Southern Weather all the time. It's like every
Can't
other day
believe I
I'm
didn't
singing
say
Southern
this
Weather.
sooner. Yeah, no, I think you know, keyboard players are kind of they're a lost art, you know, but I think a lot of, you know, cool instrumentation in pop punk. I mean, you know, our homies in Keep Flying have a fucking sax player.
And a valve trombone player.
Right, yeah, for sure. And you know, bands like, you know, I'm wearing my Mom Jeans shirt, you know, homeboy from Mom Jeans plays trombone, you know. Scott Pilgrim versus My GPA or whatever that song's called. But yeah, so great Junior Varsity song, great Arm's Length song. Really, honestly, all of the songs on today's episode were pretty kick-ass. That Hungover song, I'm gonna go listen to that again. For
Yeah,
sure.
I need to.
That was a great track. But listen, you know, to all you guys out there that are, you know, coming on and checking us out and stuff, we appreciate you for sure. That's number one. But number two, you know, we do this every Friday night, and you know, if you think that there's, you know, a cool single that we should maybe consider that's not on our radar or something, just shoot us a message and let us know. You know, we love that. We love to engage, and we kind of want to know what you're thinking. So we know this is kind of a new era for Bar Down Breakdown, and a really fun one, honestly. You know, it's kind of hard to talk about hockey when your favorite hockey team is a literal pile of diarrhea. So, you know, it kind of makes it easier for us. And this was, you know, I think, Rise Up Light. No, I've never heard of Rise Up Lights, but I will check them out because you're telling me to. So thank you for interacting.
I did not know of Rise Up Lights. I was like, Tom knows who they are.
No, I don't. But
No,
I
it
will
looks
check
like
them out.
they're a fairly new band. They're out of Pensacola, so
Ooh,
I always got to
band.
support my Florida bands.
Yeah, man. We'll check them out. Yeah, we love recommendations, so please drop them on us. But, you know, tune in next Friday because we're going to have a whole slew of new songs for us to blind react to and listen to. And I think that you guys are going to have a lot of fun if you come along with us. So
Yeah, Mikey's going to bring us some more Bojangle bangers from North Carolina.
He's eventually going to run out of North
That's going to be
Carolina.
our merch line.
Bojangle bangers.
Yep.
Goes down well with some sweet tea.
Yeah, it really does go down well with some sweet tea. All right, boys, let's call it a night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we will see you next Friday for another episode of Emo Adjacent, where us three elder emos talk about music and reminisce about the old times.
And next week's episode might be a fun one with Tommy might give us a one out of left field.
Oh yeah, guys. I'm doing a retro segment, so good luck to all of you. Good fucking luck. It's gonna be Zoppity, guys. All right, love you.
Peace.
See you guys.